To go more in depth, we have our political analyst, Harvey Kronberg of the Quorum Report. Harvey, thanks for joining us again.
Always a pleasure, James.
Busy day, the filing deadline. Let me ask you about the news of the day. Does Jasmine Crockett entering this Senate race add another high-profile up-and-coming Democrat, or does it take away the best chance Democrats have at winning a Texas Senate seat?
Conventional wisdom says that she's going to be a superstar in the primary, but she's going to be have a lot of difficulty going into the general election. Remember last time around, Colin Allred, they spent $10 million branding him simply as a guy who supported boys and girls sports. She's got a rich record of shall we say, controversial statements that they'll be able to focus on, and it's a difficult coalition to put together.
Yep. Now, she said in her speech, this campaign is for people who are tired of politics as usual. She certainly is not politics as usual. Is there something that could be appealing to some voters? Oh,
no, she is definitely a fresh face. The problem is that the Democratic coalition typically relies on African Americans, Hispanics, and young people. And Hispanics are not notorious for supporting African Americans. You can go back all the way to Ron Kirk's Senate race. It's a very difficult coalition to put together. But she does have a lot of personal magnetism, and I think there is an appetite for combative change.
Now, the Republican candidates and just Republican officials seem giddy that she is in the race. They seem to point out that they have some dirt on her that they can use to turn voters against her. But are they really that happy, or are they just projecting that because there is a potential fear of this magnetism that she has?
Well, it depends on who the candidate's going to be. If it's Ken Paxton, I think it's, I'm not going to say a level playing field, but it's a competitive playing field. If it's John Cornyn or Wesley Hunt, it's going to be a different story. And the first casualty in every political campaign is the truth. It doesn't matter what they have on her or not.
And let me ask you about this. You're talking about her potential high negatives. Does she neutralize Ken Paxton's negatives on the Republican end if he is indeed the Republican candidate?
It could be that Ken Paxton does not generate a lot of support. He's not going to drive turnout, and that is going to be the top of the ticket. She may drive turnout, so that's what makes it interesting.
I found it interesting that she kind of went after her quote-unquote dancing partner in John Cornyn, showing that she won't back down against John Cornyn, but also maybe a strategic move because some of the other Republican candidates are also beating up on John Cornyn for that friendship with Crockett. How does that play into this race?
Well, I actually think that being combative is now her brand. And as the incumbent, he's the one that's got the record. That makes him the most likely and viable target.
Yeah. It was reported over the weekend before she made her official announcement that Crockett had been trying to form a statewide slate by sort of divvying up the offices with Tallarico, with potentially Joaquin Castro, who ultimately decided not to run for a statewide seat. That didn't happen. Why couldn't Democrats get on the same page about that?
You know, I don't really have a good answer for that because this is the best macro environment Democrats have had probably since 2018. And it looks like it's to some degree going to be squandered because these are not first-year candidates once you get past the Senate race.
And let me ask you, one final fallout of this is Colin Allred dropping out of the Senate race, going down to run in Congressional District 33, says he wants to return to the House. Problem is, there's already a candidate there who's running for CD 33 in his successor, Julie Johnson. What does that look like when it plays out?
His campaign was so weak last time around that I think he's going to have difficulty persuading people that he's as combative as is called for in this kind of environment. So at the moment, I would just default for Julie Johnson, but we shall see.
All right, that is our Harvey Kronberg. Thank you so much for joining the program.
Always a pleasure. Thank you, James.